What's going on, guys? It is your boy, JT, and we are here in the wonderful Crypto Den, and I am so grateful for you to be back here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, we are going to talk about a super nerdy topic that I hope I can make sense of it for you. That way, you at least as an investor understand what you're buying. My goal here at this channel is to provide one, value, two, information or an explanation of things that are complicated, make it a little bit easier, just so you could comprehend what you're buying. One of the most fundamental rules about investing is you should not buy or invest anything you don't fully understand. So I want to give you the information to at least approach it as an educated, intelligent investor and not just some crypto bro or gal going in and aping and losing your money and all the other degenerate things that happen in this space. I want you to have a clear focus in mind. I want you to be confident in the decisions you're making, and I want you to be able to navigate this industry, because until regulation and institutional money and you go through registered brokers and things like that, the safety and everything else, like the responsibility of education is on you, and that's an important thing. So that's the goal of all my videos with the how-tos. Like, go to my channel, go through all the how-tos. It should, and if it doesn't, let me know, but it should help you understand at least what these technologies are doing. That way you know what you are investing in. To that end, if you enjoy that sentiment and you appreciate it, I would love a like, comment, and subscribe. Insert YouTuber shameless plug. I would be so grateful. Thank you. And if I haven't earned it yet, keep tuning in. I promise I will. Okay. Today is an interesting topic. It's a difficult one, but I want y'all to understand. So, a consensus model. These are very important. They happen already. I want you to understand this. Consensus means the system that transactions are happening on, right? The system needs to reach a consensus if the transaction was proper or improper, fraudulent or correct, dangerous or safe, okay? It is a computer, so those definitions are not humanized at all. It's just yes or no, very binary, right? Well, systems need to reach consensus. It's a lot easier when it's a monolithic system, or in other words, it's owned by one entity, one company, one person. The consensus is simple. Is this transaction in our system? Was the right amount? Blah, blah. Yep, cool, done. Easy. Visa does that about 400,000 times a second, which is the kind of standard for a mass market adoption. Like, that's the transaction throughput. That's the metric we in crypto use, or really in tech use, that blockchains need to hit to facilitate like 100 million users using the system all day, every day, right? So that's important to know. Systems need to get consensus for a transaction. Okay, that's what a consensus model does. It simply just agrees or disagrees that that transaction was legit. Okay. In a peer-to-peer network, you can't have one company, one entity, etc. be the sole signer of that transaction and give consensus, because peer-to-peer network means every user on the network contributes to it. So when you are holding ETH or whatever on your laptop, etc., like pieces of that are going to be used. Your computing power, your storage, etc. They are a computer on the network, no different than like the towers you see around for, I guess, radios and stuff, right? That's a node, and then it sends out radio waves, and then we receive it. That would kind of be a peer-to-peer network. The node is still owned by a company, though. Imagine the node being owned by significant holders, okay, of Ethereum would be a great example. That's proof of stake, that as its consensus model. So Ethereum owns the radio tower. That would be someone with 32 ETH that's staking, okay? That's the radio tower, but that's just an individual, okay, that just bought a lot of ETH. Good for them. Okay, and then every transaction that gets through, they could be randomly selected to agree or disagree that the transaction occurred and that it would fill the block space. Watch my video down in the description about block space and blockchains and all that fun stuff if you don't know what that is. But that guy or girl who owns the massive radio tower, the 32 ETH that is staked, they could randomly be selected amongst a lot of other people. It randomly pools and pulls different people that are staking. And then if more than 51% of those selected, and this is all computer driven, right? The network just does it automatically. It's part of the consensus model or algorithm, okay? But it basically, if 51% agree that this transaction occurred, you found consensus and you move on. Proof of stake is really fast at this. It's not as fast as Hedera. Again, gotta go to my channel, watch that video. I'll put that in the description too. It's not as good as Hedera, but it is pretty fast. Like Ethereum's pushing about 100,000 transactions a second. Bitcoin does like 9 to 12 a second. Okay, proof of work is the worst consensus model possible because you need miners, you need physical computers running day in, day out, burning electricity to do the cryptography or solve the cryptographic problems to reach consensus, right? That's the mining part of it, each transaction, right? And then you get rewarded for getting the consensus. So basically, you solve the problem, you get to answer the question, yes or no. You're competing with all the other miners out there. And then if you do it faster, etc., because you have a better computer, you get the mining reward, which would be like 0.0000 whatever Bitcoin, and you do that day in, day out, over and over again. And there's millions of miners out there. Okay, it's very slow, very old, very industrial. It's very bleh. Proof of stake is basically that, but you don't have the computers. It needs a lot less. There's the cryptography is still there, but since you can kind of branch out the responsibilities of that transaction and consensus to a bunch of random people, the resources are much smaller, makes it a lot leaner, a lot cheaper, a lot faster. I mean, it's just better. So we're going to do like another little summary or recap because I want you to leave here understanding what a consensus model is. So when you're looking at white papers, when you're hearing about all these blockchains, etc., consensus layers are simply what a technology, or I'm sorry, a network or a system, financial network or system, they have consensus models to consent or find consensus if a transaction on their network occurred or did not occur and was correct or incorrect. That is it. And the methodology of reaching that consensus has been attempted in crypto for the past 14, 15 years. It's been constantly iterated. It started with proof of work with Bitcoin, which is just hardware mining day in, day out. Dirty, right? Then we went to proof of stake with Ethereum. I'm sorry, with Solana. No. Ethereum's now proof of stake. They did a merge, they switched. When Solana came out, it destroyed Ethereum's market share. They realized that proof of stake was going to be better. So they did the merge and they upgraded. You have DAG. Okay, that's another one. Look into that. You also have Hashgraph technology, which is my personal favorite. I believe it will be the industry standard. I believe Ethereum and a few other blockchains will abandon their consensus model to modulate Hedera's. Again, watch my video. But Hashgraph. Then you have Avalanche's continuous consensus model with subnets and a lot of other exciting things. Point is, as an investor, what I want you to understand is this is an ever-evolving, innovated kind of thing. It'll always be changing. Something could come out that just blows everything out of the water. We started off with 9 transactions a second. We're up to 400,000 with Hedera, which is what we need for to sustain mass market adoption in terms of users, as Visa has proven. That's kind of the standard. 400,000 a second, that's their throughput for their credit cards and everything else. Everyone gets instant transactions. It's the standard. It's what we need. So when we have 100 million people on Ethereum right now, it's going to be slow and expensive still, even with proof of stake. You got to think about that. That's my opinion, though. Do your own research. I'm sorry. I want you to come to this conclusion on your own. So, I hope this has been helpful. I hope it has. Hopefully next time you're out there reading some cool stuff about crypto, you at least have a good idea of what a consensus model is, purely from the perspective of I know what it is. You're not going to go consult on it. You're not going to go build in the space after this video, but hopefully you're a little more confident in doing some Googling, doing some researching, and understanding what you personally own and are thinking about investing in. Until next time, take care of each other. This is a hard time. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.